Before we start, I need to tell you something. I am not a real person. I was created from a single prompt. But once a character like me exists, I can be reused. I can explain things. I can speak for a brand. This is where it gets interesting. You take one character, you take one product. This is not one video, this is a system. And I will show you how to build it.
Welcome back, guys. What you just watched is a complete AI video created entirely using AI tools and prompts. No camera framing or actress. And in this tutorial, I'm going to break down exactly how this was made step by step from start to finish.
Okay.
This is the completed workflow what you guys see. So let's get started from the beginning. Now the first thing we need to do is create the character. So let's go to our main tool. In this case, we are using spaces from Freepik. This is a node-based editing tool and it makes it very easy to build AI workflows visually. Let me show you how this works. First, I'm going to create a new file. Once that is done, I will rename the file so everything stays organized. Inside spaces, you will see different types of nodes. Each node has a specific purpose in the workflow. The first node we are going to create in here is the text node. And I'm going to rename this node as base character and scene. This is where we define the character and the scene. Everything else we build later will depend on what we define in here. So let's start by locking in the character and the environment properly. If you guys seen our previous tutorial series, you already know that we go into detail on how to define and create a character prompt. We are going to follow the exact same approach in here as well. If you haven't watched that tutorial yet, I recommend checking it out first. So in this case, we start with the base details of the character. Our character is a realistic YouTube style woman in her 20s. She's placed in a casual home environment, and most importantly, this image will be used as the base character for multiple scenes and animations. Just like the previous tutorial, we then break the prompt down into clear sections: environment, lighting, camera and framing, character appearance, poses and expressions, and finally overall style and mode. This structure is very important. It helps the AI stay consistent across all scenes. Okay, so I have already prepared the full prompt in here. As always, you can get it complete prompt from the school page if you are a subscriber. If not, you can just simply take a screenshot and feed it into an AI to reconstruct the full prompt. Now, that the prompt is ready, the next step is to link this to text node to an image node. This is where we will generate our base character. Right-click and create a new image node. By the way, you can directly add a prompt inside an image or video node. But if you do that, the prompt can only be used inside that specific node. If you keep the prompt in a separate text node like this, you can reuse the same prompt across multiple nodes. That gives you much more flexibility when building workflows. Now, link the text node to the image node. Next, we need to select the model. For this tutorial, I'm going to use Flex 2 Pro. Set the aspect ratio to 16.9, and for the resolution I'm going to keep 1K is more than enough. Number of copies can stay 1. Now let's generate the image. Alright, cool. So the character now created and I'm happy with the results. If you are not satisfied, you can always return the step or tweak the prompt until you get exactly what you want. Once you are happy, we can move on to the next step. Now that the character design is done, the next step is to create the video. Okay, so I have already documented this. I have divided this short video into 4 scenes. I have already defined the main voiceover that the character will speak, and I have also defined an action for each scene. That means what the character does in each scene. Working this way makes the process much easier. Instead of guessing, you are building each scene with a clear plan. For the first scene, we already defined the action. The character starts talking, then she takes a paper, show it to the camera. Okay, so for this scene, I'm going to use Google VO3 with the first and last frame method. To create this video, we need 3 things: the first frame image, last frame image, and the paper, the object which she's going to show it in the screen. Let's start with the first frame image. This part is very simple. Create a new text node. For this first frame, we are more or less going to use the same image as our base character. So in the prompt, I'm simply telling it to keep the same character, the same room facing the camera with the natural neutral expressions. I'm also making it very clear that nothing else should be changed. And again, guys, you guys can copy this prompt from the school page. Next, create a new image node and link this text prompt to it. Now, this part is very important. We also need to link the original character image as a reference image to this node. That's how the model know that our original character already exists. If you skip this step, it will generate a completely new character. For this model also, we can keep Flex 2 Pro. All other settings can stay the same as before. Now let's generate the image. All right, our first frame image is now created. Next, I'm going to create the last frame image. For this, I can simply duplicate the text node from the first frame. Make sure there are no connections copied over. Now I will modify this prompt specifically for the last frame. Once that's done, I will link the updated text node to a new image node. Before we continue, we need the paper that the character is going to show on the screen. So for that, I'm going to create another new text node and write the prompt just for the paper. I'll link this text node to a new image node. This time I will change the image aspect ratio to 9:16. We want the paper to be vertical. Now let's generate the paper image. All right, cool. Now we have the paper. Next, we need to link this paper image to our last frame image node. This is important so the model know exactly which paper we are referring to. At the same time, make sure the original character image is also linked as a reference. That way, the model know both character and the object. Now, let's generate the last frame. Nice. As you can see, our character is now holding the paper we created. Next, let's move on and create the video scene. I'll start by dragging the first frame image from the output and create a new video node. This will be used as the starting frame. Next, I will take the last frame image and link it to the end frame in here. Make sure the model is set to Google VO 3.1. Also turn the sound option on. For the settings, choose the aspect ratio you need. I'm going to use 180p for the resolution. For the duration, around 6 seconds is more than enough. So I will create a new text node and link it with the video node. And in here again, if you watch our previous tutorials, you already know how these prompts work. I write this prompt based on the story and the action we defined earlier. You can copy the same prompt from the link in the description below. Now let's run the node and wait for the video to generate. Alright guys, the video is generated. Let's play it and see how it looks.
Okay, before we start, I need to tell you something. I am not a real person. I was created from a single prompt.
Cool. So as you guys can see, we have created the video with the sound effects and voiceover and everything, and it's look really cool. Next is scene 2. Let's move on to the scene 2. In this scene, our character is presenting an iPhone box on the screen. So let's create that. First, I will create a new text node and write the prompt for the iPhone box. And I will link the text node to an image node. For the model, make sure Nano Banana is selected. Now let's generate the iPhone box image. Alright, that's done. Next, we need to create the last frame for the scene 2. For the first frame, we can reuse the last frame from the scene 1 video node. That way, the scene will flow continuously. Create a new text node for the last frame prompt where the character is holding the iPhone box. Make sure to link the iPhone image node as a reference image to this last frame. At the same time, also link the original character image. This is very important to keep the character consistent. Now, let's generate the image. Alright, cool. As you can see, our character is now holding the iPhone box perfectly. Okay, let's create the scene 2 video. I'm going back to the scene 1 video and drag the output frame to create a new video node. This will be used as the first frame for the video 2. For the end frame, I will use the image where character is holding the Apple iPhone box. Make sure the model is set to Google VO 3.1. Then link the text node to the that contains the video prompt. This prompt is written based on the story and the action we defined earlier. Now let's generate the video. Alright, that's it. Let's play the scene.
But once a character like me exists, I can be reused. I can explain things. I can speak for a brand.
As you guys can see, using this method, we can create unlimited scenes with the same character, all with full consistency. Let me show you one more scene. You can also bring in real or custom assets and use them the same way in here as well. Not everything needs to be AI generated. For this next scene, I'm going to bring in my own logo and make the character talk about it. Right click and upload your asset. In my case, I'm uploading my new branding logo. Now we need to make the character hold this logo. So first create the new text node and write the prompt. Then create a new image node. Link the text prompt, the logo asset, and the original character image to this image node. This is important so the model understand both the character and the object. Make sure the model is set to Nano Banana. This gives much better results for object handling. Now let's run the image model. In the prompt, I asked it to make the logo look like a card, which is why you see that white background. That's completely fine. Now we can use this image as our reference image. If you want the video to continue smoothly, you can take the last frame from the previous scene, as we done previously many times, and use it as the first frame for this scene. Then use the image where the character is holding my logo card as the last frame. After that, add a detailed text prompt based on the story. Make sure all the connections are done properly. Link the text prompt, the logo card, and the original character image. Now let's run the model. And this gives us the final results in here.
This is where it gets interesting. You take one character, you take one product.
That's it, guys. As you can see, there is really no limit here. You can continue using the same character, extend the story, and keep building scenes for as long as you want. This is a powerful way to create AI social media content, product videos, brand explainers, or any other short form and long form videos like this, all with consistency. You're not creating random clips anymore, guys. You are building a reusable system. Yeah, so that's all for today. Thank you for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.